Here we want to sketch the graph of the function and use it to determine the values of a for which the limit as x approaches a of the function exists. So here we have a piecewise function. F of x is equal to 1 plus x if x is less than -1, x squared if x is in between -1 and 1 but including -1, and 2 minus x if x is greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and sketch that graph. We can go ahead and do that on Desmos. So we have the first function, which is at 1 plus x, and then we're going to put in the restriction, which use the braces, and this is x, which is less than -1 in your braces. Okay, then we have x squared, and that restriction goes from -1 with less than or equal to x, and there it's less than 1. And then the last piece is 2 minus x, where we have x to be greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy this graph. Okay, so again, let's go ahead and fill in this information. So we know that this line here represents f of x, where it's equal to 1 plus x, where x is less than -1. So that means at -1 we have an open circle. Okay, and then this function here represents f of x, which is equal to x squared. And we know that x is in between -1 and 1, but it's including the -1. So we have a closed dot there, but an open dot for +1. And then this function here represents f of x, which is equal to 2 minus x, and that's if x is greater than or equal to 1. So therefore, this is a closed circle now going in that direction. So we need to describe what's happening here. Well, let's take a look. If we decided to approach -1 from the left of this function, okay, we can see that as the limit as x is approaching -1 from the left of f of x is equal to -1. And now if we approach x to -1 from the right of this function, well, we can see here if we approach -1 from the right, okay, if we follow this function and then go here, and then we end up with +1. So therefore, we can say that the limit as x approaches -1 of the function does not exist, but it exists everywhere else. So we see that the limit, using what we have up here and using the value of a, we know that the limit as x approaches a of that function exists for all except when a is equal to -1, because if you notice that the right and the left limits are different at a is equal to -1.